Hey everyone, welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 477 for October 13th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another host, Kyle.
I'm another host, Mo.
And it's me, Kelly.
It's me, Kelly.
It's me, Kelly.
Oh,
Yeah. I broke out it's called Drink Up Witches. It's the October edition of my whiskey jar. So hi.
You're drinking seasonally?
Yeah, I have different ones.
Festively?
I have festive ones. I have one for Halloween. I also have one in there for Christmas, but my regular everyday one is, a 30 is it 308 Cal? Yeah, it's 308. So but
how many ounces does it hold?
I don't know, but we were just talking about it. It's a lot. I've drunk. Never mind.
Get off the air. Kids might be listening. Half, why don't we start with you tonight?
Sure.
What we did in guns.
So I made it out just close to town. Quick half-hour drive. Went for a couple walks out, trying to find a good spot to take my sister out hunting.
Yeah.
And I saw a bunch of sign, but nothing was moving. And ran into a few other hunters because, well, close to town, so there are lots of other hunters in the area. And nobody was seeing anything. And we figured it was just too hot and the skies were clear with full moon. So, but ended up taking my sister out to the range, get her some time behind the rifle because it's her first time hunting and she really hasn't shot a lot. So wanted to get her some time. So sat her down at the bench, did some dry fire and practice lamp on target, then breaking the shot. And then we put some live ammo in, shot from the bench. Okay, she's getting used to it. And it happened to be a closed day, so I was able to take her out in front of the line and work with the trigger stick and start building some positions. So started off kneeling, trying to find tried getting her to reverse kneel, forward kneel, both knees and that. And it, it's for someone who hasn't really shot, building those positions feels really weird and it's tough to get in them. So I was trying to come up with something that was going to work for her. And I think the thing that's going to work is using the trigger stick. If we do like a modified hasty sling, because we're sitting there,
okay.
There's a sling on there. Let's try this. And just both knees on the ground for like a kneeling position. If she can take a knee, then do that. And standing, if we can get a tree, we'll just post up on the tree. But
yeah.
But doing the
surprisingly a lot. The finding a tree or a post to shoot off, like you don't want to rely on it, but boy, it happens often. If you just look, you're like, oh, there's a deer. If you just like look in your immediate area, there's oftentimes a fence post or a tree or something you can use for stability.
Yeah.
It's nice also too when your back is sore because you've been out there all day waiting, holding the firearm so you can just lean against it. That's what I did on the weekend. It was awesome.
It wasn't in the hot tub?
No, we didn't shoot out of the hot tub, but we did shoot this weekend.
Yeah. But so it was good. And I think using the sling work with the trigger sticks it was actually pretty cool how steady it made it.
Maybe it's a good topic to cover for the main topic.
It does sound like a pretty good topic to do.
Wow.
Should have talked about it beforehand. But so actually Saturday, Crystal's going to be stuck at home with the kid because I'm bringing my sister out hunting for her first time out hunting on Saturday. So.
Oh, cool. What are you going hunting for? You going for deer?
Deer. Yeah.
Okay.
Deer. I might go to one close spot and try and call in an elk, but primary is deer on this one. Yeah. That is my week in guns. Been doing a bunch of other stuff, but Mo, how about you?
I registered for an IPSC match in Grenville at the Grenville Club. That's in Prescott, Ontario. So it should be the last outdoor match of the year. That's going to be in 2 weekends. and I registered in the classic division for the first time. I normally shoot production. So because I finally set up my my rig for classic, because I had ordered CR Speed belt and the mag pouches, and I got a Black Scorpion holster, so I put it all together. And with that, I started dry fire practice with it. And for anyone who doesn't do IPSC, one of the big differences from production to classic is with classic you start with the safety on, because it's like a single action. So that's something that I noticed right away, that when I was drawing from the holster and I'm getting on target, obviously putting down the safety at the same time, that I was like pulling the trigger too quickly, like before I was actually, you know, like obviously down range, but like not perfectly on target. So that's something I got that out of my system pretty quick. So sorry, I just needed some repetition, because I do notice that going from a double action, like the first pull, to a single action pull, and it's like a, I don't know, 2.2 like that. It comes back pretty quick, so, or pretty easy.
Yeah, not much to pull through, right?
No, there's not much to pull through. So that's something I noticed. And so I was like coming up, obviously in the motion of you're coming up and knocking the safety down, and then I find like the first few times I was on the trigger too quick. So it's just a timing thing. And that's it. I'm going to do some actual live fire shooting this weekend. And if all goes well, I'm going to shoot it. And if not, I'll just go back to production before the match and then do the classic a couple of matches after that. And see if I like it. If I don't like it, then I'll stick to production. And I also had a meeting for the Montreal range. Had a meeting to set up their the IPSC schedule for the fall and winter. So that was on Tuesday night. And so we just went over some of the rules and the format and how things are going to run. It's going to be a good schedule starting from October, like a monthly match from October to all the way to May. And then in March they do their, like, what they call the Montreal Indoor Challenge, which is actually a level 3. So it's really the only level 3 around, at that time of year. What else did I do?
I'm jelly of like having all that shooting over the winter.
Yeah, not to rub it in, but within there's that range, and then there's 2 others that pretty much there could be 3 matches a month all the way through the winter. And 2 of the other ranges which are in Quebec, are ones where forward movement is allowed. So
Ooh.
yeah, so yeah, I know. Ooh. So it's good. So that way, so it makes the winter fun to actually have, almost every weekend there's a match. So,
there may be none in Edmonton. The normal place where we do our ranges is still waiting on approval from the county, and they're the only place that does indoor matches over the winter.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would be the next closest place for you?
For winter indoor, like IPSC matches?
Yes.
I don't know. Calgary, maybe somewhere down south. I don't even know if they do IPSC matches at the Calgary Shooting Center or anything like that.
Red Deer used to, but I know they were. I don't even know if IPSC Alberta is even trying anymore, because a lot of the indoor ranges had upped their prices.
Mm-hmm.
And because you can only run so many people through, that the numbers were down. I remember there was a post Alberta was kind of saying, well, no, we're not even going to pursue indoor matches anymore.
Really?
That might have changed, but it just wasn't economical for them to do, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
This was a while ago. I don't know for sure.
See, I guess I take it for granted that there's like a somewhat local match every weekend, even through the winter, right? So,
You are.
I guess I won't come to Alberta after all.
That's not a thing we have out here. We got some 3-gun matches. We pause. We don't even pause in December. January and February we skip. March we start back up again.
Okay,
but
so
that's
2
all.
months.
That's all outdoor.
Okay.
It's sad, but
Yeah.
My range is only like 5 minutes away, and it's indoor. If I need to, I prefer to go out and shoot outside, but yeah, indoors there.
How long does it take you to get your handguns there, Kelly? I had mine in about some of them I had in like 2 weeks.
Whatever.
Transferred.
That's it for me. How about you, Adriel?
A couple things. You guys remember me talking about that Gersan MC312 on last show? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bought one. $3.99.
I figured you would.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't help myself. Kyle already reviewed one of these things on air, so I'm not going to go through too much. Hard butt pad on it. Cool charging handle. The action looks fine. Comes with a buttload of chokes, like 5 chokes.
Really?
So my to-do list on this thing, I'd like to have this as a 3-gun shotgun for my older son who's doing more 3-gun with me. I need to change the butt pad to something that's not as hard as a hockey puck. I need to grind down the bottom here, make myself a little loady port, and
you need to Dremel it. You need to modify it, aka Adriel style.
I might shoot it first. First. Yeah, just to review it and whatnot. But the cycling on it is like fantastic. The trigger's not that heavy. Like it's actually a really nice shotgun for the price. So
yeah,
super jazzed about it.
Well,
Cool.
the one that I had done the review on, he's since gone and ran a whole bunch of almost a case of double-aught buck through it and just hammered it. Yeah. And he shot it during the team match last weekend, and it didn't malfunction on a single time. He's actually been able to run some 2 3/4 dram through it now that it's more broke in.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably run like 1 1/8 through it, which I think will just run. I think it'll just run. We'll find out. It's probably.
I should run 1 1/8, no problem.
Yeah. I was gonna head to the range, but my kids got COVID, so.
Oh no.
I decided to stay in and not accidentally spread that at the range. But since I stayed in, I had a buttload of time on my hands.
What did you do?
I did a buttload of
Reloading?
photos and articles and videos.
Oh.
No, not much art. Yeah, all like hunting gear guy stuff. So like on my Facebook page, I just got like a whole bunch of albums of new product photos, that kind of thing.
Saw the photos, but
yeah. Yep. Did an article on the Caldwell Emax, the Norinco Olympia, the Jericho 941, Nightcore stuff, and then the Zhukov stock. I just wanted to show this just to kind of like give a sneak peek on this thing here. So this is that Norinco Olympia.
Yep.
I just want to show a couple of things that I found with it. I just want to share in case any of the viewers or listeners are having issues with it. But this is the safety here. And if you press in on it and down, it just won't move because it has I don't know if you can see that detent right there. And so you need to press it straight down. Otherwise it just won't work. And if you can see S, it's on safe. And if you can see F, it's on fire.
And that's a really bad place to put that.
Oh, horrible. I think the idea here is that this thing's made for single hand shooting. And if you're single hand shooting, your fingers should not be close to any controls. And they aren't. Even like for me to press this magazine disconnect, I have to fully break my grip right off just to hit that magazine release there. So I wanted to show that. The other thing I wanted to show is the disassembly. So you pull this bit down, which is kind of weird, right?
Weird. So you pull down the trigger guard and you pull the slide back.
And then the slide just comes up and
move forward.
There's a slide. I don't know. I don't think you need to disassemble this anymore. Like you've got access to the breech there. You can brush that and brush your chamber face and run a rod through it and whatever. But there's the shrouded hammer right there. So that there's your little hammer that goes in, and you can kind of see like the trigger mechanism on the side there. That's what is going back to the sear in the back and all that kind of stuff. It's actually a really cool design.
Rudimentary. But
Yeah,
different.
well, these were designed in 1936 by Walther,
Mhm.
which is like where this design for this pistol's from. Get in there. There it goes. And actually, like this is the Hunter version of the Walther 1936 Olympia pistol. The regular one had like a big long dingus barrel on it that was like massive for that kind of thing. Yeah.
Dingus.
Dingus. I did a whole bunch of videos for Patreons of Slamfire Radio.
I saw that too.
I cut up a bunch of the videos for packing. So if you're interested in like a packing list from Kelly, Kyle, Mo, or myself on going to the range, IPSC, hunting, or maple seed, those are all up on Patreon, and you guys get special access to that. And then for myself, for like hunting gear guy, I did the video on the Caldwell Emax Pro headset. And I did a couple of YouTube shorts. I did one, and it was like, because I've been seeing them on my feed, and I did one, and it got like 15,000 views in an hour. So I'm like, oh,
what's that?
I'm gonna do some more of those. A YouTube short is like just a 1 minute vertical cell phone video. That's it. Just kind of like an Instagram story or whatever. So
it's a reel.
Yeah,
called a reel.
They've been pushing it hard on YouTube, so I'm gonna keep doing them. So I did one on coupled cross mags, and I did one last night on the 1022 auto bolt mod, how to do that.
I saw that one too. And you took your old Dremel to it as well. Mm-hmm. So, or you could do what I just did and went to Delask and just ordered everything that they have.
But it takes like 5 minutes.
Well, I had to go and get rails too.
It takes less than 5 minutes.
I know.
I did 4 of them in 18 minutes, and that is counting dicking around, like moving sanding discs and getting a camera in there and all like a 20. I timed it.
You timed
it? 18 minutes for 4 guns, and that's with filming. It's very quick. But one thing that I did know, I used a carbide bit on the to do the dremeling out. And it like shaves the metal, and it makes like these tiny little metal slivers. And I got so many of them in my hand, and they're still in there. It's kind of like feels like fiberglass, like you've got like these little itchy things in your skin. But maybe I should have worn gloves or something. I don't know, whatever. Okay. But nice and quick, and I've done videos on how to do that mod before, but I just wanted to I want more people to see it. Every time I show up to a maple seed and someone doesn't have that, that release on the Ruger 1022 is actually kind of a pain in the ass. You can press it and not press it correctly. You have to you have to press it like up and into the gun and not back, or it just won't work.
Correct.
And I think it's a poor design. I think Ruger knows the solution to it. They solved it in the PC carbine, and it doesn't do it. So why don't they just do that? Like, why don't they just make a change on the 1022s? Hey, we thought about it. You know, we've been thinking about it for 70 years, and finally, or whatever, 60 years, however long they've had them out. We think there's a dumb design, and we're just gonna modify this. Yeah, 60 years of like stupidity on a bolt release. Could be fixed.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it stupidity. It's not a safety. It's maybe it was a safety thing in the 60s, but not anymore.
No, fiddling around, farting around with that, people's finger near the trigger guard, it is a safety issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Auto bolt release, fantastic.
And that Ruger does it on their new guns. They know that that's how people want to run a PC carbine. I don't know why they wouldn't do it on.
Because it's the way that we always did it. My grandfather, your grandfather.
Yeah. Ruger does that with some of their I can see that philosophy in some of what Ruger does. Some of their stuff is really cool, but some of their stuff is definitely that's the way we've always done it.
Yes.
That's about it. I think I had a topic I was going to do for my YouTube short tonight. I forget what it was.
It'll come to you.
Yeah. I'll pull up my camera and I'll just start like talking into it and doing some stuff. So that's about it for me. What about you, Kelly?
I did the She Shoots podcast on Tuesday. It was called Up in Smoke. So Terry Houston came on, and she is from Guns and Wild Roses, and not Guns N' Roses, the band, but Guns and Wild Roses. That's a club in Vancouver. She was really, really good. And she's talking about sporting clays and skeet and trap and 5-stand, what the differences are, and also about the importance of fitting a firearm to you, especially. So she's doing it specifically for women's a women's group, but she also now does it for everybody. It's awesome. Really liked talking to her. We've been friends for a little bit, but I've never talked to her like through video, and I'm looking forward to actually going and meeting her in person too. So it was fun. We also have set up our next episode of She Shoots. So it's going to be November 8th, and it's called Small But Mighty, because you're going to have Jess Titchler. Jess Titchler, if you don't know who she is, she's the 14-year-old that actually has the second highest Maple Seed score. A 248 out of a possible 250, but she's also kicking butt in the PRS world. So she is coming on. She's a sponsored shooter as well, but also Allison Zane, who's from the US. She's 16 years old, and she is also a sponsored shooter, but she is also world ranked as well from the PRS. So they're coming on. So it's going to be fantastic. I'm really, really looking forward to talking to both of them. So yeah, I went out duck hunting on the weekend. So we went out to the Kincaid Ranch. So I went out Saturday morning, bright and early, left my place at 5:00 and got there, set up. Saturday morning was cold, 1 degree, no wind, no hint of moisture or anything. Heard the birds. So we were doing duck hunting. So mostly so ducks. Yeah. Anyways, so the Kincaid Ranch, they have their own personal pond at the back, and so Kyle Kincaid was at one end of the pond, Kelly was in the middle, and I was at another end of the pond. But all the birds that were coming in, and we couldn't see them, but we were hearing them come in as the sun started to about to rise, and they're all down at where Kyle was. We're going, damn it. But I was able to get off 3 shots. I was able to kill or harvest 2 birds out of the 3 shots that I was able to get off. So Kelly didn't get off any shots because there was none around her, but we ended up harvesting 5 wood ducks. So 1 hen and 4 drakes. So it was awesome. Cleaned them up as well, and then stayed overnight at Kyle and Kelly's, and we did it all again on Sunday. But Sunday was weird. Sunday was much warmer. It was like 15 degrees. It was rainy, lots and lots of wind. So guess what? Saw 0 birds.
No ducks.
Nothing. So we had to be happy with the 5 that we harvested on this on Saturday, but it was fun. You know, it's great to get up early in the morning and go and sit out beside the pond and watch the sunrise, and it was awesome. It was very, very relaxing. I was super excited that we had the opportunity to do that, and I'm thankful to Kyle and Kelly for having the pond there and inviting me out as well. So one of the other things that I did too is I made there was a lady who she's been trying to get into maple seed. She's had some issues with illness and different things happening. But she also messaged me on the last week or the week before saying, hey, listen, I know with everything that's happening, I just got my RPAL. I want to go and try out and see what gun I should buy. So I said, hey, let's do this. Let's go meet up at SFRC on Saturday morning at 9:00. I got to go pick something up. So I walk into SFRC, and it's just like, I haven't been in there in quite a while because I'm busy every weekend. I'm not at home. And it's like a whole new store. They have basically converted a lot of it over to the fishing side of things. I think that might be, there's reasons, hashtag the government. And yeah. So, and then we went back to the back, and they have no pistols left. There's nothing there. If there's anything, they said order it online. But guess what? I picked up this. It's my new CZ Shadow 2 in Urban Gray, which I really like the color. I love it. So because it's mine, I purchased it. I said, hey, do you mind if she handles it? Because this would be the firearm that I would recommend anyways. So she tried it out. She loved it. Spent a lot of Saturday looking for deals for her and where she could find, by the way, CZ Shadow 1s and 2s, nowhere to be found. Gun Nuts, I found her one.
Yeah, why'd you like tempt her with that when she can't buy one?
Yes.
No. I was looking around. She was looking at something else. and I was able to find one for her on Gun Nuts with belt, 6 megs, and the price was actually really good as well. So I said, yeah, you go do that. Go and do it now. Do it now.
Good. Good.
So she was able to take advantage of that. What else happened? So spent a lot of Saturday with her. It was lots of fun, and we were supposed to go out on Monday morning and shoot, but she wasn't able to make it out, so which was sad. But I was telling you guys that on my way out to the Kincaid Ranch after SFRC, I saw this deer, and it was weird. The deer itself had a black tail. I'm going, white tails don't have a black tail, but it was literally black. It was really, really black. So, yeah, I was able to. There was a trail cam, and it showed the deer. It was a doe, and it had a black tail. It was weird.
I was thinking you were going to tell us that you
I didn't shoot it.
Able to take a closer look at it.
No.
From, maybe like a meter away, touch it, figure out what was going on.
Nope.
Pet its black tail.
It was eating in a field right across from Kyle and Kelly's. So I said, you guys, you can keep coming back every once in a while. We'll see you in November because that's when we're going hunting. So we will. Yeah, and it'll be
hot
tasty.
tub hunting.
Yes.
You should. Did you try putting like an array of decoys in the hot tub? Have you tried that before?
No. That would be interesting though, because there's decoys in the pond. Yeah, we could. I don't think that Kelly and Kyle would like shooting the hot tub.
Well, you wouldn't actually let them land. You'd be firing from inside the hot tub.
That's correct. But yeah, I was using my 28 gauge. It was working fine, over and under. I took 2 shots, and the third shot, the duck got away, and I said to Kelly, "Get it!" And she goes, "No, you get it." I said, "I only have 2 shots." Like literally, I'm trying, bang bang. So it didn't work out well.
What shot size were you using, and how close are the ducks? Because like 28 gauge is pretty small. You're still getting hits. You must be like really close to them.
30, 40 meters.
30, 40 meters.
Yep.
And what shot size?
6.
Really? That's a really small shot.
Yeah, it's okay.
How many pellets of number 6 are you getting?
I have no idea. It's number 6
gauge,
and it's the 28 gauge. So, I'm okay. I love it. Right? It's an extension of me. I can pretty much hit what I'm aiming at. I did limit myself on a couple of birds. There was one that flew in, and it was behind. There is a rock mossy thing, and it flew, and I couldn't hear because it was dark first thing. I could hear it, and I could hear it land, but I couldn't see it. It was behind the thing. And then Kyle took a shot when the light came up on a couple of the birds, and it scared this one, and it flew instead of towards me, it flew away from me into the woods. I was thinking, you know what? It's about 60, 70 meters. I can get it. And then I'm not going to do it. I'm going to shoot at whatever I know that I'm going to be able to hit. So that's what I did.
Number 6 is pretty small pellets.
Yep.
For non-toxic steel shot. That's it's pretty tiny.
Yep. So, and not only that, you don't really, the bird, one of the birds especially, I shot it and it just dropped in front of me. And then we went to take the feathers off of it, and it was pristine. It was great.
No, the pellets don't even get to the breast. It's like you just luck out on one, like digging them in the brain, and that's it.
So,
nice.
I really, really enjoyed duck hunting. I got invited out again this weekend, but I'm going to be at Crumlin this weekend, so I'm not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. But there'll be lots of other time as well. The other thing I did when I was at SFRC, and speaking of ammo, and Kelly asked me to pick up some ammo for her because she needed it for pheasant hunting, and I was able to pick up her stuff that she had ordered, and she hadn't paid for it, but I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing because I was talking to everybody. And then I paid for all the other people's ammo as well, apparently, and they put it in my bag, and I left, and I got to Kelly's place, and I went, "This isn't your ammo." I'm going, "That's really expensive." I'm thinking to myself, "That's really expensive 28 gauge. Like, it's really it was like 3 times this amount." So I had to go and return it. So I've been to SFRC 3 times this week already. So yeah. But Yeah. So the other thing that's been happening is there's a club level ATT course. So Henri, who does them, has asked me to do it. So November 27th, I've signed up for that. I'll be helping out with that. I'm headed out to Toronto tomorrow. I'm going to be there for the majority of the day and coming back because we're going to be. I'm going to go get a whole bunch of targets. So I wanted to say thank you to Richard Lee is helping out with that. And then Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to be at Maple Seed in Kremlin. So I'm going to go to Toronto, then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to immediately go out to Kremlin, which is 4 or 5 hours away, 5 hours away. So yeah, it's going to be a busy. Yeah. I got a couple more, and the weekend after I'm at Stittsville, and then 2 weeks after that, I'm going to be in Penetanguishing. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah. And oh, by the way, you were talking about Amazon and deliveries. Yeah. So I've the credit card has been burning a hole in my pocket. So Amazon delivered all the stuff I needed yesterday for I got for the loaner rifles that we're setting up. I got four rifle cases. I've got some cable locks, 5 of those. I got, what else did I get in from Amazon? Name tags, different things like that. And then I went on to Alaska, as I said, you know what? I'm going to buy rails anyway, so I might as well go and get the Autobolt release. Also, the silicone buffer pins too. I ordered 5 of those, so we're just going to trade out everything that we have on our loaner rifles, and then we'll be set for next year. Yeah, that's it. Cool. It's been a busy week, so yeah, that's it. Everybody has already said what I've done in guns this week, so that's it.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to upcoming events. It's winter. There's some maple seeds, but it's winter.
There's maple seeds in Ontario. What about in Alberta?
No, sorry, I'm too busy hunting.
Guess what? Me too, but I win because I still have 6 events.
You've actually shot stuff. Oh, wait, I shot some grouse.
Okay.
How many ducks did you get?
Me, myself, and I, 2 last weekend.
I got more.
Okay, whatever.
Everything's a competition, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Let's get on to the news. Canadian military to destroy Browning pistols saves some for museums. Last week, the federal government announced that it will purchase for the Canadian military the Sig Sauer P320 handgun in a deal that could be worth $8 million. But all the old handguns, they're just going to scrap them because they hate money, I guess. They have too much of it. Probably that's the issue. The Canadian military is swimming in cash. They can't. They're just get rid of all their old equipment. I know all the military guys listening are just screaming at me right now, but
no.
Well, okay. So these Browning handguns, they're the Inglis, right? Inglis.
Mm-hmm.
They have 12,000 of them. They say that 1,300 are non-functioning. The rest are functioning. So they're probably some of them are probably not in great condition. Some of them probably are still in great condition.
Well, they take all the ones that aren't functioning and they cannibalize them so they can fix the ones that are kind of functioning or when they go down.
But it sounds like they got that's like a 10 to 1, like maybe 10% of their inventory is down and the rest is good to go. I don't know what you guys think surplus handguns would go for, but I think surplus good condition, high powers would be what, $300, $200, let's say. There's $3 million worth of stuff they're just going to smelt instead of selling it to the US or something like that. I would understand why they wouldn't want to sell it to Canadian public because we're doing this whole handgun ban thing, but they could have sold that to the US for a cool quick $3 million and got rid of them, right? Yeah, some of our listeners are commenting on my choice of swimming in cash. Yep. Yeah, the Canadian military has too much equipment. That's why they're just lighting it on fire.
Yeah. No. No, that's not the case at all. That's why they only have 1-ply toilet paper.
Unless you add a leaf, and then it's 2-ply. You add a leaf on there, bulk it out. Okay, let's get to the CCFR Legal Fund donations. The court date has been set for the CCFR Legal Challenge. April 11th to 20th is D-Day for the Battle Royale. That will be CCFR et al. Versus Canada. And it'll be heard in Ottawa.
And the provinces. CCFR and the provinces.
The cool provinces.
The cool provinces, yes.
Like Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Yukon. Didn't hear any
Yukon.
Ontario or Quebec in there. No.
No,
Yukon's not even a province, but they
it's
count
a
too.
territory,
Mhm.
but it does count. It actually counts times 2. Seriously, it does.
Are you counting like every resident like 10 times over? Is that how it
No.
counts for two, or?
They're big. Just
Are you counting the animals too?
Yes.
They got lots of those. I'm pretty sure they're like outnumbered easily by like deer and moose and elk.
That's correct.
Yeah. But anyways, that's been set. If you want to help out EMT to finance at firearmsrights.ca. Let's get into some new gun stuff. A couple of things. Let me share my screen here. Window. That one. First one here, MPA Rimfire series. They're releasing a new line of rimfire rifles and conversion kits, if you are so interested. So if you have an appropriate rifle, you can convert it to 22 LR.
I need a new rifle. I've decided.
This is going to be a little bit pricey.
Probably.
I don't know if this. You don't want to put this as a loaner rifle on the line for me.
No.
She buys ammo for people. She's got money.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no, I don't. But I've decided I need a nice Gucci gun.
Oh, you have a Gucci gun. You have a Gucci gun.
I have a couple of Gucci guns. I just don't shoot.
You have a 22 that's nice.
Yeah.
If there was 100 people in a room that had a 22, you have a nicer 22 than all of them.
I know.
Maybe if there's 1,000 people in the room, you have a nicer 22 than all of them except for
90%.
Yeah, no, not 90.
Some
not
of the
90,
people,
way
some
more.
of the people, some of my peeps, they got nicer guns, but they're also $10,000.
Not many of those out there. Anyways, if you want to get right on the path to that, MPA Arms has those. I think I saw who's importing these things. I think I saw EM Precision was bringing these things in. So take a look at those. The next one, the BCL PX19 Foxbat 99mm. This is a Glock 19 Glock off. It's aluminum lower though, so rather than polymer, it's an aluminum lower made by BCL. They're going to be stocking it at Marstar and SFRC. So while we can't import any handguns, we can sure still make them here. I'd imagine they pushed the timelines for getting this thing out up based on the bans, and they're going to try getting some up there. So that's that. This next one, North Pro Sports, they have Benelli Super Vinci 12 gauges, 3.5 Max 5 with soft floating cases for $13.77. That's Leet, right? Is that Leet? I don't know. Anyways, they've got those. I was supposed to be showing something. Oh, yeah. The Cam Pro primers. This isn't really a new gun stuff, just something I noticed. Some people are having issues seating them.
Really?
Yep. More than a couple of people here mentioning that they're having problems seating them, and they'll probably need to use like a hand primer. They might be hard to prime, but just something I thought I'd bring up since we were recommending those the other weekend. Getting into some new handguns. Gunshop.ca. This is Wild West out of Edmonton. They have some Tenfoglio Mossads. I think they're CZ75s. It says they're blemished and they are well loved. I think that's how I describe them. Well loved.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Well loved, broken in.
Broken in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So experienced.
There you go.
There you go.
And I got some Cabela's stuff here. If you're gonna buy any of this, use our link. But the MC312, $3.99, hell of a deal. If you prefer it in camo, they got that one too for $3.89, which is also pretty decent for a decent little camo job on there. I was looking at this one. This is the only reason I have it on here. The Chiappa Little Badger. They've got one for $2.15. I'm looking at it. They're so weird looking. It's just so weird.
Little Badger.
Yeah.
I didn't want to recommend the Mossberg Patriot because I think Mossberg makes great shotguns, but I just wanted to show 6.5's PRC is becoming more and more common in hunting rifles.
Yep.
So we're starting to see that coming up quite a bit more.
Yeah. I I was handling one of those at SFRC this past weekend.
The Patriot or the 6.5 PRC?
Both. They put them both in my hands, and I'm going.
Oh, we can get the rifle. Cartridge is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're looking for something for the kids, they've got the Mossberg Maverick 88 Field Youth Pump. So look at how short that like the pull is, a tiny little butt pad on there. Yeah, it's the butt stock's cut down quite a bit.
What gauges do they have? Just 20?
Just 20. 20's the right one. 20's the right one. Well, 410? You can go 410.
I'd like 410, but I would even prefer a 28 over a 20.
Oh, now you're getting fancy. No, they don't have 28. They do not have 28. Yeah, anyways, they got that. And then if you are looking for a rangefinder, I have one of these, the Sig Kilo 2200 BDX. I paid more for this. Oh, it's amazing. It ranges like way far out there. If you're looking for a rangefinder, that we're finally at a point now where we can get decent rangefinders that range way out there for cheap prices. $350 is like pretty stinking cheap. Yeah. I remember I got a rangefinder. This would have been 8-10 years ago or something like that. But I got a rangefinder for like around this price, and it wouldn't do more than like 300 on a good day. And now we're there because these things go way far.
I need a rangefinder too. I'm starting to build a list. It's not getting good.
Rangefinder's nice if you're deer hunting on a cut line or something like that, and you need to like know your distance.
Yeah, well, if I'm hunting for deer in Ontario, it's within 80 meters or closer.
Yeah, it doesn't matter then for that kind of stuff.
No.
Anywho, that's all the new gun stuff. For our main topic, I thought we'd cover shooting rests for hunting. So when we're hunting, we're trying to get like a nice steady shot. And what are we looking at here? Comments?
Yeah. So Richard Lee, his comment is, why do I need a rangefinder if I'm shooting off a duck with coffee?
We're both trying to like put it up there.
I know. Thanks, Richard.
One at a time.
Yeah. Nuno is saying, I'll just catch up on Facebook while we're at it here. Nuno is saying that the Maverick 88 is an excellent first shotty. I agree. Mike's saying 6.5 PRC doesn't actually exist. It's a Mandela effect illusion. Yeah. Nuno is saying Hef's review, not so good. Not so good on...
I think he was putting that to the Gersan, and I don't know if I said it wasn't too good. I was a little disappointed that you had to run ounce and 8 through it at the time, but it was also brand new. So,
and that's what I'm actually run through
I was going to wait on that, but I'm actually going to be working on. I've already mentioned to the guy I'm going to get that same Gersan back now that it's been run all season, and do a follow up review on that probably beginning of November. That's the next time he's going to be up here. So.
Cool.
Now that it's been broken in, and he added the butt pad that you were talking about.
The limb saver. Did he get it? Did he get one that fit really well on it, or did it have like some little like gaps and stuff on it?
I'll have to double check. I think overall, it looked all right.
Let me know which one he got. I want one. It needs one.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. That butt pad is hard, but yeah. So that November sometime, that follow up review will be coming out.
Cool. And it's. I don't know why they even bothered, but it's like asymmetrically shaped on the back. Like they put some thought towards it. Like this is supposed to fit inside your shoulder pocket.
Yeah, they were trying to make it after the M2. The M2s are contoured butt pads just like that.
Are they hard like rocks like these?
No,
ones?
they're not. They're not hard.
Like I'm pretty sure I could butt stroke someone with this and like they wouldn't like it. My A5 it would be like, oh, that's not so bad, This one
just
would hurt.
Feathering.
Just a feather.
Yeah. Just going through some of the other Facebook comments just while we're at it here.
I started one.
Yeah, we have one from Kevin Ward.
Yeah, he's saying,
a good one, yeah.
Hey, from Halifax, enjoy the show. New RPL holder. My family is enjoying our range days. I have two 22s, an ISSC Scout strike pull, and a Remington Model 33 made in August of 31. Whew. My daughter prefers the old cap gun, and at 50 yards can take the cap off a pop bottle with open sights. Fantastic.
Wow.
Oh, this is the old gun, not the old cap gun. Yeah. I would prefer the old gun.
Young eyes.
Yeah.
Hand-eye
Mhm.
coordination. Mm-hmm.
Mike's saying that new fancy rifle would complement his Voodoo Ultimatum, Grey Birch, and Bergera. $22.
I know.
He's one of the
Nice.
1,000 that would have nicer guns than you, Kelly, in terms of.
I know. That's why I like them, actually. So we have some taste in guns.
Derek was mentioning that some of the Inglis were in still new condition. Some were beaten up pretty bad. Yeah, Patrick was mentioning that the Canadian Forces maybe isn't swimming in cash. And
What are you smoking?
I was, maybe I was
Paraphrasing.
watching that a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Mike's mentioned that we have coyote hunting all winter that needs to be done. Of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get your shooting practice in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now we're caught up. Now let's get on to shooting rests for hunting. The reason why I wanted to cover this topic is I've actually talked to some new hunters this year, and they're like, "How do you get steady enough to take a shot?" And we're talking about take a maple seed, because then you can get steady without any extras. You can do the standing, kneeling. The kneeling is like my clutch shot for hunting. Yeah. If I'm walking along and I see a deer and I can't take that shot from a standing shot, like it's let's say I can do a standing shot at 100, but I wouldn't at 100. I'm just going to drop to a knee and I'm going to be steady. That deer's getting it right in the heart.
Nice.
But prone, never. I shoot in the snow, and it's just never going to happen. Yeah. I've taken one deer with prone, and I've probably shot like 50 deer over my life. And it never comes up. It's not a thing that happens. Even with all the distance, you got to I got the only time I got one, I was like, I knew that there was some deer in this one spot. I went prone on a hill that was overlooking that spot with a bipod. The deer came out and I smoked it. But other than that, it's a terrible position for practical hunting and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Deer shows up to your left. What do? Well, you gotta rotate. You make up a bunch of noise, bunch of movement. It's just your field of view and your possibilities on what you can shoot are just so limited. Would you agree, Kyle? Do you have different?
I would absolutely. And even just the grass, you're not going to. Where I'm hunting, you're in the bush. There's lots of underbrush or long grass. If you're out in a field or something, you're not even going to see 2 feet in front of you.
Yeah, you have to be up a little higher, so you're going to be less stable. So what do we do about it? What are we using?
Seated open-legged is nice. Another maple seed thing. Yeah, that one's beautiful. Because you can sit in that all for 2 hours. And then when you need to take a shot, pop up your elbows on your knees.
Again, leaning against a tree.
I like leaning against a tree. My first deer I shot off a fence post.
Did you?
Yeah, popped 308 on a fence post.
Perfect.
Cracked deer at too far. But it's fence posts are great. Trees are great. I think for new hunters out there, practicing their grabs on trees would be good. What I mean by that is, do you grab it like this, stick your thumb out, and then put your rifle on top of your thumb? Or if it's on the other side, do you grab it like that and then stick your finger on top of there? Just practicing that a little bit with like a broom or something like that in your house is really neat. It just helps. Then when you're actually in the field, you're not like, what do I do here? I want to use this tree.
Trying to work it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to work it out in the minute where it would take you 10 minutes to dick around at home and figure out some pretty applicable holds on a tree or a fence post or something like that, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What happened? So if you have a tree, you can steady yourself against the tree and you can hold it, or you can fence post. You're absolutely right. Make sure that you're on your property with the fence or the property that you're able to shoot on, because that might or might not have happened last year anyway. Okay, we'll just move on. But if we don't have fence
post is no man's land. That's both good for both the fields.
Yeah. You're supposed to let people know, hey, are you okay with me shooting? Okay. What else do you have? Because you had a couple of things in your hands there, Mr.
I've got some. So I think from standing, the best thing you can do is what Kyle has, which is one of those trigger sticks that you can use. That it's got the grip on there, and you press a trigger, and it drops a leg or two, and you can just shoot from standing. Right? Is that what you got?
Yeah, I got the monopod one. You can get the bipod, or I think they make a tripod. And when I bought it, I was thinking like combo walking stick, and that I gotta say I'm not 100% a fan of the trigger sticks, because when you are walking with it, which they say you're not supposed to use it as a walking stick, there's a lot of clanging
Jiggle.
with the spring in there. And I actually wrapped mine with hockey tape, and unfortunately it's sitting at the range right now, so I don't have it here.
So you're talking about using
trekking poles.
What about trekking poles? Can you use
That's
those?
what I'm actually thinking of going to, because I do a lot of hiking, so the trekking poles would help in just the hiking, and then crossing them similar to what Adriel's got with his little snap out rest there, and having them in a V and trying them that way. Either way, I still use the trigger sticks, and I actually from basically modified hasty sling on the trigger stick, and it actually really helped, because I was trying to get my sister stabilized, and with the monopod, it still, especially if you're not used to it, it still wavers a bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the further up off the ground you are, the more it's going to waver. These things are good to shoot from seated. So if you have a low seat, or like one of those heat seats, and you're like on the edge of a cut line or something like that, I found the height of it perfect. But these don't clang because they're just sticks. This is like a blind person's like whip them out and off they go. Then they connect themselves, and then you just turn them like so and sit it on the ground. Using this, here, let me grab my shotgun. Boop, and it just sits right in there. I found seating with this thing. Oh my God. You can get so much stability, because like I don't have to have this hand on the front. I have it right now because I'm holding it above the ground. But you can have your support arm underneath the back here, and the front's super steady because it's on the rest. The back can be super steady. This is like a very steady rest that you can make, but it's got like limited appeal in terms of like where you can use it. You're carrying around. These are pretty lightweight, but they do make up some bulk that you need to put in your pack, or just carry off by your hands or whatever. And they have a bit of adjustment. You can just choose to go like more or less open to give yourself like a little bit more height adjustment to them.
Okay.
But they don't have that much height adjustment. Like the amount you can actually do there isn't that great. They don't go very high either. You couldn't, like, I can't use these in the chair that I'm in right now. I would need to like sit it all the way down in order to use these things.
Okay. That's where I like the trigger stick, is it just, you pull the trigger and it extends. And
yeah. I would say my favorite for gophers is this guy right here. I'm just going to go full size. This, I don't know what length it is, but they go pretty far out. And the thing that I really like with these is my favorite shooting position in maple seed is cross-legged. It's super steady. I can do it. I can get my elbows onto my knees, onto my boots, and it feels great. I can shoot with this bipod on the front and then have both my arms way at the back, and it is rock steady. So for gophers, I just like take a seat and I just annihilate whatever I can see. I can shoot because I've got the steadiness out of it. I almost never use it hunting. Hunting, I end up in snow. I can't do the cross-legged thing. I can't like get the bipod legs down. So as much as I like this for summertime gophers, I don't really use it hunting that much. It might be useful though. And it's like, the nice thing about this is that it's stuck right to the gun. It's on the sling stud there, so it just stays attached and you could just rip it out. I never use it though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you had one of the long, you can get the long bipods and have that attached to your gun. Those work good.
This thing's pretty long. This is the bipod that just like rotates down. It's pretty long, but I never use it. I never find the need. To be honest, I do a lot of my long distance shooting from a fixed blind. I have sandbags up there. I have like legit sandbags that sit up there. If I need to take a shot on a deer that's like quite far, I've got sandbags that I'll use on it. Which I guess is one thing that you could bring out if you think you were. But the problem with this is that you have to have something that you're shooting off of with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is some bulk and weight to actually take around. This is a YBAD Fortune Cookie Mini. I think it's the one, but this wouldn't be great unless you're like a real PRS shooter and you're shooting the deer like, oh, there's a branch. You're like, boom, all right, let's do this. I don't think normal people would be up to that. And then just one that I just wouldn't recommend is just like a short one, a little short bipod. These are good for prone. They're good for like PRS. They're awful for hunting. The just applicability of the prone position is just not that great.
And I guess I would further my opinion where like I got rid of the bipod for one. Found you're never gonna go prone, but the only time I would really consider putting a bipod on my gun is if I was doing coyote hunting. For deer hunting or big game, no, it's just added bulk to the gun that I don't need there.
Is it because you can predict the direction of the coyote because you're going to do calling and you know kind of where it's going to be coming in downwind of the call kind of a thing?
Well, I mean, they're going to try and circle. Like when we go coyote hunting, there's a good sized field, but it's snow. So actually getting the gun set up isn't a big deal. You know, we just sit on the edge of the field with just a chair that we're just high enough so we can actually see out there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I know like if you've like the ultimate setup for a lot of guys might be like just a straight up tripod. You can get like even Cabela's sells them these days, the tripod with the grip on there, bog grip or something like that. Just grab the gun right in the middle, and then you're basically like using that thing to hold the whole gun.
Yeah.
Mike's saying if you refill the shooting bags with airsoft BBs, they make the bag way lighter. Right. Yeah.
And
good point.
If you need to, you can also carry a, BB gun and use the ammo that's in the bag.
Yeah.
It's good for squirrels.
Look at that.
Airsoft BB? It would just annoy them a lot.
Squirrels.
Still.
Yeah, still. I'd use a pellet gun though. One of those little like pump pellet pistols. It like got me thinking the other weekend when we were using them just for fun and at the and actually I did buy a 22 pellet pistol, like one of the break action ones, because I want to shoot a grouse in the head with it. And I can. Other thoughts on shooting rests? Any other thoughts there, Hef?
Biggest thing is choose what you're going to do and practice it. Like we were talking at the beginning, dry fire it, figure out how to build that position and find what works for you. Cause like this last weekend, my sister had a really hard time getting her elbows on her knees. So for a kneeling position, I ended up having to get her to just 2 knees down. And then I really recommend if you got a sling, use it, learn how to use the sling. Mm-hmm. I still look at it. I go, I got a rest, and look, it took me. I'm ashamed by how long it took me. Like, hey, there's a sling there. Why don't we figure out how to use that in conjunction with the trigger sticks? And
I taking a course on this.
Yeah.
Kelly, do you use bipods or anything like that when you hunt?
No.
Maple seed all the way. Got the tattoo.
The deck rail. She uses the deck rail.
The deck rail.
Yeah. No, but sling, yes. But yeah, no. But I also didn't bag my deer last year, so that could have been one of the reasons why. So it was standing offhand, downhill.
I love dropping to the knee.
This year, it's not. I will be dropping to a knee, and that deer will be mine. That black-tailed deer, that it will be mine. Off the deck.
White-tailed deer.
Black-tailed deer.
It's weird. I stopped dead in my tracks. I went, that's just odd here in Ontario.
Now you'll have to stalk them dead in their tracks.
Correct. Off the deck.
Off the deck with a wine bottle as your bipod.
Well, that's when you're shooting off the deck, it's really a lot easier to do because you're able to rest your elbows on the deck, on the rail, and just take your shot. That's honest to God.
Bring a bag, put the bag on the railing to give yourself that much more, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
See, I figured you would have just had the forend on the railing sitting in your deck chair with your wine beside you. Just give me a sec.
Okay, I'm not drinking. We drink afterwards, but not during.
I said wine glass. I didn't say what you had in the wine glass.
Correct.
Water.
So I've already booked the week for hunting. We already have. So I have my doe tag. We already have the plans. So we are going to actually incorporate some of the stuff that we're talking about because we're going to be walking through the woods. Yeah, it is nice to just get up in the morning and have the deer come to us and we shoot them off the deck. But it's also, let's try it another way. It didn't work last year all that great. I do prefer them coming to us, but sometimes they don't cooperate.
Yeah. Kyle, you're mentioning one thing that like to dry fire, and I agree with that. I would say one other thing to think about, because we're still in October here. If you're going to hit the range, don't shoot off the bench. Shoot off the bench to like get the group. Yeah. But then if you can, some ranges won't let you do this. Yeah. But if you can, shoot seated, shoot standing, shoot kneeling, like shoot all of these things and see when and do I don't know, 5 rounds. If you can hit 5 out of 5, you're probably good at that distance for that, especially if your range has steel. Chaz has steel at 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got steel everywhere, varying sizes. And I would say that they've got a 6-inch plate. If you can hit that 6-inch plate at 200 from different positions, that's the one. That's going to be your benchmark for what you can do. Yep. And try at 300 too, anyways, just to see what your drop is. The other thing that doesn't have nothing to do with bipods or anything like that, but check your drop, know your drop on your gun at different distances, so that if you see something at 300, you can make that connection. Yeah, and you don't get underneath it.
Hey, the other thing is also if you're going out hunting, use a firearm that you're familiar with and it fits you. Mm-hmm. So it's fitted specifically to you. I was using a rifle that I borrowed from somebody, and it didn't fit right, and it comes through in your shooting too. So you're going to be more stable if you have a rifle that's fitted to you.
I'd like to add a footnote. We're talking about supported shooting, and there are very few supported positions where your gun sits steady. Mm-hmm. So we have a wide range of listeners, from experts down to just thinking about getting their pals. Don't try and hold your reticle steady on the target. Learn your cadence of your reticle and try and get that rhythm and time your shot. Don't try and hold it steady, because it's just going to shake around and you're pull a shot most likely.
Yep. Indeed. Yeah, the more steady you can be, the more sure you can be of that shot that you take.
I like this, what Mike said. The best way I've learned everything, the best way I learned everything I was doing was wrong. Oh, is that through Maple Seed?
I believe so, yeah.
No, we adopt and we cope and we do different things. Maple Seed's a great program. Obviously, I love it. It's my life. But I think that there's some really good shooters out there. And he says, yep.
There you go.
I was thinking about it from the perspective of Michael Jordan. He said he's learned the most from the shots that he missed than the shots he's made. So the stuff that we've missed, we're going to learn from it. And we're going to just basically overcome and adapt. So if I missed last year because I was using a rifle that was borrowed, didn't fit me, and I was standing offhand, guess what? This year it's going to be my rifle, and I'm going to drop to a knee, and that deer is going to be
lead sled. And
we're going to have deer jerky, and we're going to have, yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's get into listener feedback. We've kind of been going as we go along here. Yep. Will was saying that Project Maple Seed was the best sling training he's ever had to date.
Well, thank you.
He was asking if your black-tailed deer could be a mule deer.
And that is no, we don't have any in Ontario, and that is exactly why I'm going, what the hell?
What if it's one pet mule deer that they let loose?
Pet mule deer. Mm-hmm. That could be true. But it's now going to be a dead mule deer.
All right. I don't have any emails, but if you want to email the show, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. For supporters on Patreon, we have been uploading some new videos for you. So take a look at that and let us know if you like that kind of stuff. We'll keep doing it.
Can I make a note on the Patreon?
Yep.
For any of your Patreonies, we realize it's been a while since we've done anything. So if you have an idea that you'd like to see, write us and let us know.
Yeah. Kyle has
we're
now
doing
been.
packing lists.
We're doing packing lists. Yeah, currently we're doing.
We're working on packing lists, so you guys can print off a checklist. So
Hey.
whether you're hunting or whatever, you can have a checklist and put it down.
Didn't we recently, not recently, like last week, didn't our last show get mentioned on another podcast because we were doing packing lists? I think people are interested in that stuff.
TFB.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Firearms blog mentioned our podcast and then wrap up.
Go and have a listen to them.
All right, let's get into Facebook and Messenger and YouTube reviews.
Cool.
Ethan mentioned on our YouTube channel. Thanks for having me on, folks. It was a great time. I was on episode 476. Then on the Kasan testing and review, they say clean the heavy grease from the factory, re-oil. The factory grease is too heavy in the cold.
That is correct.
Yep.
Did you have a lot of
any
like?
You should be doing that with any gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was like sitting on the floor, so I don't know, like how, like maybe they wiped it off, but
like literally on the floor.
Yes, on the floor. There's really not very much oil on this one, but like the oil that'll be on the gun is typically like a rust preventative oil. It's not meant as like a lubrication oil, and it won't be good as a lubrication oil. So yeah, cleaning off the stuff that comes from the factory, and then I think they must have cleaned these off because this is pretty clean.
It'd be a good idea. I have a couple of ideas for gun show for episodes. We should talk about over and under and side by sides because I've had people messaging me, but also shotguns over and under especially. But also, why don't we talk about different lube and how to, preserve your guns for different weather, because we're getting
5W20 synthetic for everything.
Nice.
That piss everyone off.
Yeah. Don't use frog lube.
Yeah, I'm semi-serious about the 5W20 though.
I didn't doubt it.
Oh, Adriel.
Anything but the factory oil.
It does have to.
So,
I was just gonna say, clean your rifles, pistols, shotguns, everything as soon as you get them from the retailer, and then lube them up.
So if you got one of the Norinco handguns during the ban here, and you like really wanted to get one and you got one, you're gonna need to do some cleaning because they come heavily packed with oil. They will not rust. Rust is like not even going to be anywhere near that gun because it's going to be swimming in oil. But you got to clean that stuff off because it is very heavy and it's not going to be great in the cold or just otherwise.
It just comes up.
Patreonies, if you'd like some stuff, we'll send you some stuff. Head on over to patreon.com/slamfireradio and check us out over there. We are uploading special content. And we're going to be working on packing lists and that kind of a thing.
Awesome.
Shoutouts. I'll do mine first because I'm the host and I get to do that. I watched an interesting YouTube video on InRange last night. There's a discussion with Ben Stoeger about USPSA and what USPSA does and what they're like, the good parts of it and the bad parts of it. It was a really interesting show. The gist of it is the thing that Ben really likes out of USPSA is the standardized rule set across the country. Once you get that standardized rule set across the country, it's fantastic. Everyone knows what the rules are, what the divisions are, that kind of thing. And he felt like that was really important. The top level costs of $3 per match per person for all eternity, he felt like was not great. There was obviously the rest of it because he's having some issues with the USPSA. But
just a bit.
Good video. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hey, we're gonna have him on the show at some point, aren't we? Maybe.
Next week.
Is it next week?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We should probably advertise that. Just saying.
Yeah. Maybe I'll make a StreamYard thing after this, and we'll advertise it a bit.
That's a good idea.
Kelly, shoutouts?
I did want to give a huge shout out to Kelly and Kyle Kincaid for allowing me to come out to their lovely ranch and shooting some birds. It was awesome. I loved it. It's like, you know what? It's like I was a normal person. I could shoot myself. Not myself, but you know what I mean.
Not yourself.
No, but
did you eat
you yourself could go shooting.
No, so you know what's happening with the ducks? So We were able to clean them and everything, and we put them in the freezer. And what's going to happen is when we got about 20 right now. So what will happen is they will all go on the smoker. And remember what I was telling about those preserves? Those preserves will go on it, and then we'll have ducks and lots of ducks. It's delicious.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Delicioso.
Mm-hmm. Milk the bueno. That's it.
Kyle?
I have a recommendation. I came across this podcast last week, and it's just one particular episode. So the podcast is Talk is Sheep, and it's BC's Wild Sheep Foundation podcast. And the episode was on a bear mauling that took place just west of Sundre back in 2017.
Oh, cool.
And this is basically the guy, they actually had this Jeremy Evans guy on to talk about it, and like the guy should not be alive. The fact that what he went through, I won't spoil too much of it, but what he went through to literally drag himself out of the bush into his truck and trying to get help is just absolutely incredible.
I'm going to ask, was he somebody who had the ability to defend himself against a bear, or was he a hiker?
No, he was. It was the day before sheep opener. He was out there for hunting.
Oh, okay.
He was hunting sheep, and it was the day before the opener. And through that, they actually just released a book. It just released, I think, September 22nd. I ordered it off of Amazon, so it's mauled. I think they said it was number 1 for camping and bears, obviously, but. And that goes through even more than what it does. Like, it's an hour-long podcast, and I think he's telling the story for about 45, 50 minutes. But I've already finished the book, and it's a highly recommended. There's some lessons to be learned in, and it's just an absolutely incredible story.
Okay.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did any of you see the most recent defensive gun use with a Glock against a cougar? Was making its rounds just recently here.
Female cougar or
more dangerous kind. Not the dangerous to your pocket, but the dangerous to your face. That one.
No, I didn't see it.
I'll share that with you guys after the show. But it's a pretty incredible little clip. The other thing that struck me was this guy is filming with one hand and he's got his gun with the other, and my thoughts were I would be dropping that phone right now and going to a 2-hand grip. If I had a cougar that like was not letting me go, no chance I'd be recording that.
Okay,
you get to see the cougar for a little bit. After that, I go to 2-hand.
Was he millennial? Just asking.
It seems to be a thing,
Bear,
right?
Mr. Bear. You need to go away. Don't eat my kayak, Mr. Bear. Or
might die, but I'm gonna record myself defending myself. I'm
gonna record myself getting mauled by a bear.
Yeah, exactly. I'll share that.
The last photo. Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible stuff. Mo, awesome. Any shout outs?
No, nothing for me.
Awesome. Check us out at Gun Owners. Like us on Facebook. Give us a review on Facebook. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.